If you want to talk highlighters, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. And today is all about highlighters, and what prompted that was a request to see my 3 baskets of products, the loose setting or pressed setting powders, my bronzers and blushes, and now finally the last installment is highlighters. And unlike the bronzers and blushes, the highlighters take up a whole basket all on their own. Yes, I like highlighters. And I did put the illuminating bronzers and illuminating blushes in the bronzer and blush category. So there's some highlighter stuff sprinkled in virtually every one of the baskets. But today, as I said, we're talking highlighters specifically, and that is both powder and cream. Given I don't have that many cream products in highlighters, I think that is what I'm going to go over first, is creams and liquids. So let's take care of those first. Now, one that is a rogue highlighter is in this Cover FX quad, and it is the only highlighter in this quad, and it is right here. It is Moonlight from Cover FX. I really quite like it, and I did just kind of reconfigure it in the middle of the pan, but it was just covered the whole pan at some point. And Cover FX highlighters are beautiful. I have been very impressed with that highlighter so far. It is very fetching and easy to apply. It's just super flattering. Now I have a bunch of cream products. Let's go with this Joe Fresh. This is a highlighter stick in Pure Glow, and it looks like this. It's a very, very light color. It's very pretty, although it's easy to put too much on. And if it is too much, it kind of does a white cast, so that's not as pretty. The What's Up from Benefit. This is a mini that will last for a very long time. It does make me think of Moonlight from Cover FX. It's one of those same types of highlighters. It's very pretty, and I would not have a problem getting a full size when I'm done with this mini. And then a couple of Cover FX clicks. Do you remember those? There are some still on their website, by the way. And I have a very light one that is more like an illuminating, it's like a highlighter and bronzer a little bit. It's a deeper color, and so you could argue that it might have been better off in my bronzer highlighter drawer, but I do keep it in my highlighters anyway. And then this one is definitely deeper, and it is in Gilded. So yeah, I think I'm going to move those over to my my bronzers. So it's in the wrong category, but they are very pretty, and they sheer out beautifully. It's a very nice product, very nice product. And you can use it all over the place. You can use it on lips, cheeks, eyes, forehead, wherever you want to use them. They look great. Let's go to some liquid stuff now. I have this Perfect Gleam in Sunrise, which is a gold type of highlighter, and it is a dropper based highlighter. I hate the dropper, so I do transfer it into this Cover FX mini dropper, and so this is virtually empty of Cover FX product, but I do want to put the Annabelle in, and the Annabelle is definitely a different color, but the Cover FX, the old product, is just coating the outside, and so that's why it's not true to color. But the one we're really talking about is the Annabelle Gold Highlight, and then I also have a rose highlight called Blossom from Cover FX. These are the enhancer drops that offer kind of a highlight to various products or just on their own. And it's a beautiful, beautiful color. I really enjoy that. And this one is the newest highlighter to my collection, and I'm really happy to have it. And it does make me think of another powder highlighter, which I will show you shortly. Just a few more stick and liquid highlighters. I do have this Tarteist Pro Glow in Stunner. I think it wore off, but I can tell you it's in Stunner. So not Stunner, but Stunner from Tarte. I'm pretty sure that's the name. And then I have these two that are really quite new to my highlighter collection, and they were $7 each. So I thought, oof, what is the, there's really no risk here. And they look like this. So one is more of a white highlighter, just a kind of a glow, I guess almost toward holographic, but it's pretty. It's pretty. It's more like a, goes on sort of like a balm. And then this one is more goldy, of course, goldy bronze. It's pretty sheer, so I guess you could call it almost peach. But they're both quite pretty, and they apply kind of like a little bit sticky when they first go on, but I do think that they're quite pretty and luminous, and I don't mind them at all. Now for two liquid glows that I did get from Anastasia. They were giving them free with some orders for palettes about a year ago, and this one is the Oyster, which is more of a beigey kind of a color. Hopefully you can see it right there. Come on, camera. There we go. And then this one is the Rose Gold. That is quite pretty. And I'm looking forward to comparing this Rose Gold to the Cover FX Blossom Enhancer Drops. So we will see how that goes. But I mean, Cover FX highlighters are beautiful and ABH highlighters are beautiful. So I had no problem buying a full-size liquid illuminator from either brand, because I know that I'm going to be quite happy with it. And same thing, this was a hand-me-down from Tarte, from someone who had this Tarte highlighter, I should say, and I knew that I would love it, even never having used it, and boy was I right. It's a very pretty highlighter, and I'm doing swatches of these liquid ones because they're really hard. If you can't see in the container, it's really hard to see. Do you see how beautiful that is? It's just a gorgeous highlight. And I'm quite sure it's in Stunner, but I can't reference it right now because this thing is wearing off. It's about time for me to finish it, frankly. It's just beautiful. Anyway, moving on. I have a couple of oddball products. This is a powder from Sephora called Midnight Magic, and it is a face and body glitter pot in holographic. I got this on a whim. It's just this weird powder that has a lot of shine to it, and I just figure I can use it for just about anything, for the eyes, the cheeks, as something to brighten up the lips. It's just, don't do that. I'm just saying it would be fun. I don't know that it's lip safe at all. But it's just a nice powder to put even all over the body for a glow if you're doing a party outside in the summer. It's just, it says face and body glitter pot. And yeah, and I would use it all over to enhance an eye look, enhance cheeks, definitely body, and I'll say maybe lips for myself, but I would not recommend it for other people. I'm just saying, it's not a recommendation, but it's just a nice sprinkling of micro glitter that's available if and when I want it. And I just really like having it in my highlighter collection. So that's that. I should show you another one that is technically highlighter slash glitter that's not in this container because I consider it kind of eyeshadow, but I'll show you that one as well. Okay, and it's this one. So this is the one I was showing you, the Blossom one, which is kind of a blushy type of illuminator. And then this one is a glitter drops. So is it a highlighter? I don't know, but that's really the only category it would fit in my collection. And it's in the color Lunar. And I have used it on the inner to a third to half of the lid. It's gorgeous. gorgeous. It makes me want to have more of these. And I thought, what am I going to use this for? And I thought, well, cheeks, and can I get away with it on the eyes? Hell yeah. It's beautiful. It looks blue, but it has blue, pink, and purple sparkle to it. It's gorgeous. How many times can I say that? Beautiful, beautiful. And looking at it, that seems to be it for the stick or liquidy type of highlighters. So let me go into the other ones that I have. Now this is a highlighter that I got from my friend Steph, and it is intimidating because, come on, open up. Because it is a deep highlighter, very much like the Your Treat from Colored Rain. It's a deep highlighter, but highlighters like this tend to look bomb on the eye. They just have this beautiful finish to them. And so I do know that this is one of those highlighters that would look so good on the eye. I mean, you could use this every single day and not get tired of it. It's just so pretty. It's kind of between, it's like a soft gold and peach is the type of highlighter it is. And it's like a double packaging where they even have a sponge underneath for application. But it is, in my estimation, it's a highlighter very, very much like the Colored Rain Your Treat, which I'll show you right away after this one. I have two from Colored Rain, and let me show you Your Treat first because that's the one I'm referencing. See how they're so similar? So let me just show you the other one. I shouldn't have put it away. So I hadn't even looked at them before this video, but they're pretty similar. Okay, Colored Rain's a bit deeper, but they are kind of in that same type of peachy gold category. Yeah, Colored Rain is definitely deeper, but I do think of them both in the same way. They're very nice. They're very nice. And the other one I have from Colored Rain is Lavender Dreams that I have used often as eyeshadow. And it's this one. Hopefully you can see the color properly. It's beautiful. And I have worn it as highlighter and I've worn it as eyeshadow. Colored Rain knows how to do highlighters. Definitely. And speaking of another company that knows how to do highlighters, we've got Cover FX. I'm a big fan of Cover FX. And this one is a very subtle highlighter called Sunlight. And if you want a subtle glow, this is a beautiful highlighter. And I really love the packaging. Before going any further with more pressed highlighters, I thought that I would go over some loose highlighters. And so it's another Cover FX product, but this time it's loose. What really intrigued me or excited me about this one, it was on clearance, I don't know why. It's a 3-part highlighter. So there's Celestial, there's Rose Gold, and there's Moonlight in this. I have Moonlight in the Cover FX highlighter. I really like it. That's the one I showed you earlier in a cream product. So that's that one right there. So I have it in this trio. So Moonlight, Rose Gold, and Celestial. And those 3 are iconic Cover FX highlighters. So to have them all in one container is fantastic, and they're each sealed containers so that when you open up one highlighter, you're not worried about it dumping into another highlighter. I think that is just a genius kind of packaging, and it packs a punch because you get 3 highlighters in a relatively, so here's how it opens, 3 highlighters in a relatively compact type of a packaging. So let me just show you that relative to another highlighter packaging. I mean, this is really small to have 3 highlighters in it, and loose highlighters, which makes it very versatile as far as how you use it, and you can take it on the go because you don't worry about breaking it. Fantastic. As was the case for the Lunar Glitter Drops, this next highlighter I also use predominantly on the eyes, and it is the Violet Voss highlighter in Mystical. And it is a it's kind of between a mint green and a lime green. It's really neat, and it is beautiful on the eyes. And it was available for, I kid you not, $5. And that was on Beauty Bay. And I thought, what the heck, let me try it. If you ever see a colorful highlighter on clearance like this, and this is quite a bit still. Can't remember how many grams. Let me just check for a sec. Okay, 6 grams in here. I will never run out. If you see a highlighter on clearance like that, a fun color, try it out, I tell you, on the inner to center 2/3 of the lid, or put it on for a pop of shine on the center lid. It is so much fun. And that is if you don't want to wear a colorful highlighter on the cheekbones. They make for beautiful eyeshadow. And I have not been disappointed. I've worn it a few times already and I really, really like it. It would be really hard, as I say really, it would be hard for me to declutter this from my collection. I just get a kick out of it every time I use it. And that's why I am happy to have it. That's it. Another one that is not quite as extreme, but that is kind of still extreme if you don't tend to want to wear colorful highlighters, is this one from Makeup Geek, Moon Phase. It is quite a highlighter. It has kind of blue and pink in it, and it doesn't look like very much in the pan. So let me just see if I can to build it up a little bit to give you the full impact of it. But I do wear that one as well as eyeshadow. And it has blue and pink depending on how you look at it. It's really pretty. And yeah, I see it. I don't see it in the viewfinder. Hopefully you saw it. It's like baby blue to pink and purple. It's really, really fetching. It's so pretty. And yes, so that's another one that I wear on the eye. And actually, I should try to combine these. I bet you that would look so beautiful. It would enhance these colors that are that blue, pink, purple, and would add that same set of colors, but with a glitter finish. Duly noted for myself. I will try that. That would be a 1-2 punch. That would be fantastic. Now this is from an edgy company, but it's not an edgy highlighter, and that is this Afterglow. And I was given this as a gift option in an order from Urban Decay, and it is the Sin highlighter. And I would love another highlighter that they have, but I can't justify another highlighter. As you can tell, I have a lot. But this is one of those really approachable, can use anytime, any day highlighters, and that's nice. And it's what, 8 grams, something like that, 6.8 grams. It's perfectly fine. It's a great size. I will never run out. And I'm always kind of curious about the Sin highlighter from Urban Decay, and I'm glad I have a highlighter from Urban Decay. It's just not a brand that I've sought a highlighter from. So I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Now for a highlighter that I discovered because it was in the Elizabeth Arden holiday set last year, not 2020, but 2019. It is this gorgeous little highlighter. It weighs practically nothing, 2.9 grams, but it is the Rose Quartz highlighter, and you will see, I hope, I made a significant dent in this one because it is a beautiful everyday highlighter, always appropriate, very pretty, kind of a peachy soft gold, not a peachy gold, but a peachy soft gold, and I have no problem using it. I know for a fact this is a highlighter that I will not only pan, I'm sure I'm going to finish. No joke. It's a very easy go-to, and it's so nice, and it's very, very light, and so to have it around with me is a no-brainer. Now for a couple of highlighters that really surprised me, delighted me. These were, I think, $8 each on the Sephora site. This one is Stardust, and it's more of a kind of a glowy light gold highlighter. I don't know if the camera's picking it up all that well. I know you're seeing something better than what I'm seeing in the viewfinder, so I'm going to believe that you're seeing something decent. And then this one is Light Beam, and it's more of a peachy highlighter, and they're both baked highlighters, and they're very pretty. I've put a dent in each one of these. I have used them a lot, It's just highlighter takes forever to use up. But I have enjoyed these couple of highlighters from Sephora, and frankly, Sephora brand overall, you will have seen a number of Sephora brand products so far. They're good. They are, for the most part, really, really good. And I think they're worth a shot. I have had very few dud products from the Sephora brand. And that goes for skincare as well. And I'm picky about skincare. So I have to say, their products are pretty darn good. Now let's talk about some more affordable products. This Essence Pure Nude is a fantastic highlighter. There's a reason a lot of people have raved about it, and I've used it quite a bit. It is a good highlighter. I think you can see the dent I've put into it, but it's a really, really good highlighter. I have no problem with using it on the regular. The only thing that I would be worried about is the packaging. It's very flimsy packaging, and I know I would break it if I took it with me somewhere. So it stays in my drawer safe when I don't drop stuff on the floor. But it's just believe what you hear on YouTube. It's a very good highlighter, and it's so dirt cheap. If you want to try another highlighter and you don't want to break the bank, the Essence Pure Nude, for sure. And here was one that I was very opportunistic with. That's why it was so cheap. It's an Annabelle highlighter, and I think usually they're at least 10 bucks, but I definitely did not pay that much. I think I paid 3 bucks at most. And if I can get it open, here we go. And I have not used it, but it is very similar to the Essence. I'm sure I've swatched it. Why does it not look like I've swatched it? Anyway, let's swatch it together if I haven't. Like, I know it. No, I guess I haven't. Oh my gosh. But it is, again, one of those beautiful goldy peach highlighters, and I took a very hefty, it's right here, hopefully you can see it. I took quite a hefty swatch. It's just one of those really, really easygoing, always nice highlighters. I think I'll just swatch it next to the Pure Nude. That way you can see them both. Because I'm a big fan of finding good stuff at the drugstore. Good affordable stuff at the drugstore. So the Essence is a little bit more peach. This is the Essence, and this is the Annabelle. So the Annabelle is a bit more gold, and Essence is a bit more peach. But they're both really pretty. I really do like those types of highlighters. So I'm really partial to them. And we're not done. We have more. So let's keep going. Since we're on drugstore, let's finish on drugstore. And this is the Master Chrome. Now, it is a specific color of Master Chrome. It says metallic highlighter, but I've lost the color, but it is kind of a rose gold highlighter. And it's really pretty color. I've only used it twice, I think. I was trying to be good and focus on finishing one highlighter, but I'm realizing now that I just have to use them all because there's no way I can do that. And it's up here, and it's sort of like between a plain highlighter and rose gold. And it's so pretty. It's just, and that is one, again, that would look so good on the eye. It's so pretty, and I don't have any of the information. I think I just ripped off the backing by accident. But it's a lot of product in here, again. And just, they're all so beautiful, really. There's a reason I have a whole basket of highlighters, is just because they're all pretty. And shiny things is like, squirrel! I just see shiny things and I want them. Surprisingly enough, I only have one single highlighter from Tarte. The other ones are in a palette. I have the Pro Glow palette, and I think there's a highlighter in the Tarte Park Avenue Princess as well, 1 or 2 highlighters. And this is the one, and I have not touched it. And the reason I haven't touched it is because I keep forgetting it's a highlighter, and I keep thinking it's a blush. And it's called Idol. I-D-O-L, like Idol, Idol, not I-D-L-E. And I think I'm going to swatch it with you. I had not touched it, but I'm going to play with it. Again, because I keep thinking it's a blush when I'm looking for a highlighter in my highlighter tray. I have no idea why I wouldn't have moved it over or checked it, but... so this one is right between the pure nude and the Annabelle highlighter. It's like an in-between. So there's the pure nude, there's the Annabelle, and that's the Tarte right in the middle. Interesting. Okay, and it yeah, I keep thinking that it would be like the Stunner, but it's got a little bit more peach to it. Stunner is not quite as peachy. But yeah, I have finally dipped into it, so to speak, and I'm happy. Now, does it say how much? 1.5 grams. So it's a mini. I'm happy with that. Highlighters last for a long time, and now I won't be so sheepish about using it because I have obviously used it now, and I will be less reluctant to use it. And now, because of this video, I'm sure that I will be going, no, Hélène, it's a highlighter, not a blush. So I just wish that highlighters would have been like in a cream color as opposed to a rosy color, because that's just confusing. I'm sure I would have used it a lot sooner had it not been this color of packaging. Okay, now we are talking Becca, and I have a bunch of Becca highlighters. Let's start with an oldie but a goodie in this packaging, and it is Opal. I'm sure this one is Opal. Yes, Opal. And Opal I had to repress because it got smushed, and they repress really, really well, by the way. I really like Opal, and when it was broken, I thought, shoot. But it does, as I said, repress really easily. And then I got 4 more in a holiday kit, and they're all kind of that gold exterior ring. And this is Champagne Pop. And Champagne Pop, somebody was mentioning, this was Steph actually, wondering when she was opening up a box I sent her about the difference between Champagne Pop and Opal. And Champagne Pop is definitely deeper than Opal. So Opal is this one here. So I think you'll see it's more golden in Champagne Pop, and so it's a little bit deeper than Opal. When I want a lighter highlighter, Opal is the one that I will go for. Champagne Pop is a little bit more edgy for someone that's pretty fair like I am. Fair light. Not quite fair, but light. Let's call me light. Yeah. I tend to buy all my stuff in light, so that's probably the right name or right descriptor for me. Now this one I love. This is Prismatic Amethyst, and on the eye it's beautiful. And that's what it looks like. So it's lilac, but it's not overkill lilac. So anyone can get away with this one. It's super pretty, super flattering. I really like it. Gorgeous. Next one is one that is very approachable for a lot of folks. It's like Champagne Pop because it has a golden hue, but it's very light gold. And so it's flattering on, if your skin is more on the fairer side, it looks pretty good. And I can't speak for deeper skin tones. I don't know how vanilla quartz looks on deeper skin tones. I would assume not great, maybe a bit chalky. If you have a deeper skin tone and you've tried vanilla quartz, let me know, please, what it's like, because I don't know. And I'd be curious to know how universal Becca is. And the last one of this set of 4 from last Christmas is Rose Quartz. And Rose Quartz I have also used on the eye, and it was quite pretty. And so it's definitely a rosy type of highlighter. It's, again, very pretty. Now this one I've only used, I think, once or twice because I had other rosy type of highlighters, so I wasn't in a big hurry to use this one, and I had so many other Becca highlighters. That's my story on that one. And speaking of rose-colored something, this was a special highlighter that came with a Glam Glow mud mask that I sent to Steph. I figured she would use a mud mask, and I would not. I find they dry me out too much. But it was a mud mask and highlighter duo, and this is why I bought the duo. This was to get the highlighter. And I knew that she would enjoy the mud mask, so it was like a win-win as far as I'm concerned. And this is another rose type of highlighter, but this one is called Rose Glow. And look at the design. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this one. It's so pretty, and I've swirled around it once. No more than that. I really like this one, and I don't really want to use it, which is so silly, but that's the truth. I know it's stupid. I know it's stupid, but it's so pretty. Anyway, okay, these next two are pretty as well, but I'm using them anyway. This one is my newest one, and it is the Own Your Light from Becca, which is it's a single color highlighter that has a shift. So it goes from peach to pink. I mean, like hot pink. It's a really interesting, well, actually the finish on the front is very reminiscent of what it looks like. So let's just open it up. I'm keeping the plastic for a little bit because it's so new, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Maybe if I'm away from the ring light, it might show you the shift to pink. The problem with the ring light is it's intense enough that sometimes it doesn't show you the shift. So I can't tell with the viewfinder. Hopefully you've seen it, but it really is from peachy brown to a lovely pink hue. Yeah, if you want a highlighter that has enough color that it's almost like a highlighty, no, more like a blushy highlighter, because it's more highlighter than blush, then this is great. The luminous blushes from Becca are more like a blush that has a little bit of highlight. This is definitely a highlighter that has blush properties as well. Either way, Becca does these really well. That's it. Now finally is a second highlighter that I've had to repress, and this one is bittersweet because I managed to repress it and I did a really great job, so here's what it looks like. But it was the Year of the Pig, and I really loved the color. It's a very, very light rosy peach, very, very light. But, and so it's super flattering on me, like big time. For a yellow undertone person, this is super, super flattering. But it had such a pretty embossing of that little pig, and it broke on me before I even had a chance to use it. Gah, right? It was painful. But it repressed beautifully, and it is a gorgeous color, and I'm happy that I have it in my collection because it is not like any of my other highlighters. They're all different. And that's really what I'm appreciating about highlighters, is they're different. And also how multitasking friendly highlighters are. You can use them anywhere on the eyes, the cheeks, the body, the forehead, Cupid's bow, bridge of your nose. You can use a highlighter pretty much anywhere you want. And they always seem to look so good. And so I think that that's why I enjoy highlighters so much, is because they enhance my creativity and just are a good reminder of being able to use products in different ways. And yeah, I think highlighters make me more versatile with my makeup collection in general, like using blush for eyeshadow or vice versa, or highlighter as eye makeup and eye makeup as highlighter. I just find they are very versatile and, for the most part, flattering on the face. They add interest to a makeup look, and I just love them to pieces. As long as I don't drop them on the floor. So that is it for my highlighters. Let me count them real quick, and I'll tell you how many highlighters we talked about today. We talked about 39 highlighters. Yep. 39 highlighters in this basket. It's a lot of highlighter. Anyway, that is it for highlighters. I hope you enjoyed the whole review of 39 of them and me swatching sometimes for the first time on a couple of them. I should do these more often because it is making me rediscover my collection all over again, for which I am very, very grateful. I hope this video was fun, and I look forward to hearing what you think of the highlighters that I have in my collection. And if you have some favorite highlighters that you think I should try, please let me know as well. I would love to hear from you about that. And again, these are the single highlighters, and I do have some face palettes to show you that I will go through in a separate video. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.